Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be trying to prevent my ZBS from blowing up. So this is the most recent setup where it blew up. It's actually MOSFETs paralleled, and that was one effort to try and get it to stop blowing up, but it didn't work. So anyways, I'll show you the circuit. Alright, so this is filmed on my action camera, so they really don't work good inside, like, because low lighting and stuff, so it looks pretty bad right now. But my phone's currently broken, so this is my best option to record. So anyways, here's my MOSFETs. These three are blown, and along with these, a pair, because this is two right here. Two MOSFETs paralleled, and both those blow up. The thing is, it's usually only one MOSFET out of ZBS that blows up. So this one, you guys can't see it. These MOSFETs are dead, but the other ones are fine. And it's usually the diode that breaks, as well as one MOSFET and one Zener diode. And then the other diode and Zener diode and MOSFET are fine. Alright, so this thing kept, it actually ran for a long time, and it was reliable when I ran it off my 12-volt power supply. But then I decided to run it off a battery, and it blew up in a matter of seconds. It did work, but it blew up. Then I rebuilt it, and it blew up again. And every time it happened, the Zener diode split in half, but only one of them. So, anyways, I was thinking, and the Zener diodes are actually acting as a normal diode in the sense of back spikes. So because a back spike will be negative on the gate of the MOSFET, the way that the Zener diodes go in, the Zener diode actually is acting as a regular diode. When it gets positive here and negative here, it becomes conductive. So it's not regulating, but in the way that it regulates, that Zener diodes do, is actually the forward correct way to power your MOSFET bias. So negative on your source and positive on your gate. Of course, that's different with some MOSFETs, but with mine that's how it is. So the Zener diode acting as a regulator is actually just keeping the gate voltage for the MOSFETs down, because when you run this, you want to run like typically over 20 volts, and the MOSFETs usually can only handle 20 volts, so you need the Zeners for that. However, I saw on Maker J101's video, just power your MOSFETs with a separate power source for the gates, and your coil will still be able to get over 20 volts. So you got your external power supply connected to both the sources and your gates connected to this external source too. So now you can give the gates like 8.4 volts and your MOSFETs delivering power to the coil over 20, and then you won't need the Zener diodes. And I still want diodes to protect from back spikes though, so I'm just using regular diodes. As you can see right here, those are diodes acting as Zener diodes to prevent the gates from blowing out. And so I just run the MOSFETs off the external power supply, and now I don't have to worry about that. And the reason I want to use regular diodes instead of Zeners is because the Zeners are only rated for like 500 milliamps, and the full-size ones are rated for like 5. So and these didn't get the legs melted off them like the Zeners did, so I think it's working. They didn't short out. Anyways, I did do the regular diodes instead of Zener diodes, and they still blew up. So I got another idea, but first I gotta fix the ZBS. Alright, so I was starting to think that I just needed to get better MOSFETs, and these just couldn't handle it because they just kept blowing up. but I saw some other person use, it was Keystone Science. They used, I think, IRFP 250s, and they were only good for like 30 amps, I think, and mine are IRFP 264s, and they're good for 38 amps, so that makes me think these might have hope. Alright, so I took the circuit completely apart, and I came across something interesting. So, the FETs are actually still good. These are 2 in parallel, so it's usually 2 MOSFETs for a ZBS, but I'm using 4 because I paralleled some. And they're still alive. And this diode and this one diode that I was using to protect from spikes is alive. However, on the bad side of things, this just regular switching diode broke, and so did this one I'm using as a Zener diode, or to protect from spikes. And that's just weird because these don't have direct load on them. The only thing actually powering the coils are the MOSFETs, so I don't know why these are breaking. Alright, so I think the problem is related to just these diodes not having good enough voltage ratings. They are only good for 60 volts, and I think they're supposed to be good for like 400 or something. I didn't know that till after I already bought them. But I think this is also the reason why the MOSFETs have been blowing up in the past, because these diodes fail, and then once it fails, it leaves the MOSFET on. It powers up the MOSFET, and so the MOSFET has it blown up at that point, but it's stuck on, and now it dumps all its power into the coil and doesn't shut off, and then it gets fried. So that's probably what's been happening. But since I paralleled these, they should have been capable of like 76 amps, I think it was. So that they didn't blow this time because they're strong enough. So that exposed these diodes for being the problem, I think, at least. Right, so this is the board to a CRT TV, and this should have the diodes that will do the job. This one here and this one are both the same thing, and they're good for like only 3.5 amps, which is less than the other ones, but 600 volts. So hopefully they'll cut it. And for the spike protectors, I'm just going to try and find any random diodes that are high speed, and hopefully they'll do a good job with that. Alright, so I got all of my diodes that I needed. So these right here, these all are fast recovery. So these bigger ones will go between the drain of one MOSFET to the gate of the other. And these two, which you guys can't really see, will be used for to stop spikes. So they'll be going across the MOSFET source and gate on each MOSFET. Right, so the ZBS is put back together mostly. Now all I have to do is solder the flyback up as well as this capacitor, and we'll be ready to test it. The inductor / resistor is now on the right end, and when I touch this to positive, it should not spark. So let's try it. Okay, good. It doesn't spark, indicating that the MOSFETs are not conducting, which they shouldn't be, because I'm not giving them gate voltage. Alright, so I'm just gonna hook it up to power. Oh no, it's sparking. Yeah, it's sparking. Power supply's still on? Let's try it. Okay. So it's alive. You guys see that? I think you guys can see that. Now, this alone is not all that surprising, because what really would be impressive if it can handle like 22 volts from a battery charger. But regardless, it works at least. I think the lights actually flicker. Oh yeah. I don't think you guys can see it, but it's because the power supply is under load. Oh my god, guys. So these batteries are like this, and so I'm hooking this one up, and I touched the screwdriver across these two, so 24 volts, and it melted lead from the battery onto the screwdriver instantly, and it turned black. And you can see there's a chunk taken out of the terminal, and it's kind of black around there. Here, let me spark it for you guys. Yeah, it's a lot of power. You know what, let's just jump to here. Is that any more powerful? Oh yeah, that's more powerful. Just wish this wire would stay. It's not a whole lot bigger, really, but it's a pretty nice arc, I'd say. Alright guys, so this is a new setup, and I accidentally deleted a clip, but nothing happened in it really. It was just the circuit arcing and me trying to raise its power. So as of right now, I raised it to 36 volts, which is definitely pretty high running off batteries. But I'm running it through a pretty long length of heat wire here, and so that will hopefully stop this thing from blowing up. So I'm gonna get the welding gloves on and fire it up. Alright, this is it. So you guys can see the MOSFETs. They may be about to blow. They did actually heat up, running on only 24 volts, so I can't leave this running that long. Alright, so meter's on. It's definitely oscillating. Wow. We're drawing, it was 7 amps there. It's definitely the best arc I've gotten out of this thing. Oh, something's smoking. Oh, it's just the heat wire. Charge this. Is anything warm? Ooh, yeah. Wow, the MOSFETs are heated up already. Well, that's not good, but they didn't blow up. Alright, I'm back, and I made some slight changes. I added crimp connectors there on the battery so that they won't disconnect. There goes the leg to my tripod. And I also ran it to where the side with the inductor is ran through this resistive heat wire rather than the MOSFET sources themselves. That's what I meant. And I added, you can't see the batteries really, but now there are like 16 volts powering the gates, which isn't enough to blow the MOSFETs, but I think that might make them less hot, because before, when it's switching so fast with only 8 volts, maybe the MOSFETs were charging slow, you know, their gates. We're at 24 volts and only 6 amps. Yeah, 25, 23. It's a weird sound. Oh no! Oh, my flyback's arcing. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, look at that. That's not good. Alright, ready? Oh god. Oh, that's definitely on. Didn't blow up yet. Wow. Whoa. Alright. Let's see. Is anything burning? Wow. I was right. The MOSFETs are cool. Wow. That, adding the extra gate supply voltage definitely helped. Flyback is letting some smoke out, but it's still pumping out the arcs. Ooh. Alright. Wow. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of this video. Shout out to Andrew Rufo, which is my dad's YouTube channel. He currently has videos showing his mods, you could say, to his manual mill. One being homemade clamps for a rotary table that doesn't waste any space on the surface of it. So it's kind of better than the step lock method. Links at the end of this video. Yeah, this was supposed to say BWG for Broken Rinse Garage, but I kinda messed it up. But anyways, shout outs to him. Links to his channel will be at the end of this video. Okay, bye. Thanks again for watching.